Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fifth Dimension. Today is going to be a very special show in which we have two amazing friends, two amazing Kingdom Hearts content creators here along for the ride, in which we have the final stream, the final prediction before the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event being held in Shibuya, Tokyo, Japan.
Let's go!
Oh man, everybody's ready here. First and foremost, let me introduce Miss SarahKey. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm Zolted. Thank you so much for being on the show. It's gonna be a great time. It's always a great time having you here. And now,
love being here.
I'm so glad to hear that. And now we have Mr. Nipple Turkey Man himself.
I'm shy.
Okay,
What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? I'm vexed. Let's do it. I'm vexed. The hype is it's flowing. The blood pressure, should I say, is high.
I haven't even said your
Let's
name
go.
yet, though. I like.
They know who I am. Are you kidding me? They know my name.
Jared.
No, what's going on, guys? It's Cynical.
What is good? Oh man, today we're gonna have a power-packed show of excitement, predictions, and more when it comes to the 20th anniversary. Now, if you guys notice here that Sky and Dean were supposed to be here today, but they have previous engagements in which they forgot that Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is currently in theaters right now. Go watch the movie. I saw it last night. It's amazing. No spoilers in the chat. You will be sniped on sight. Anyways, 20th anniversary time. Let's get our predictions in. First and foremost, I just want to get the record straight, and we've been talking about this a little before the stream started and whatnot, is that, you know, I understand people don't want to like get too hyped up and don't want to have their expectations set too high, but you guys need to understand, this is the 20th anniversary event that we're talking about, a 6-hour-long event. Yes, it's behind closed doors, but this is 20 years Kingdom Hearts in the making in Shibuya, the Shibuya Hikari building, the 9th floor, in which we're gonna have a grand time with Tetsuya Nomura, Taya Soya, and the rest of the Kingdom Hearts team talking about their experiences throughout 2 decades worth of fantastic adventures with Sora and pals. And you think that they're not gonna have something to talk about when it comes to the future of the games in Phase 2? It's not like Nomura has been hyping up this event for 2 years. Like, look at it. Interviews ever since from 2020. This man's all like, yo, 20th anniversary is in 2022. I hope to have some nice. And then literally,
something.
Right? Like, he's been, he's like, I feel Nomura's like been like this for like 2 years. Like,
absolutely.
Is it time? And then the interview that came out today, that was translated today, Nomura was speaking on Strangers of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin, and the person that was interviewing them, God bless their soul, they brought up the 20th anniversary event, specifically when they said, okay, so now Final Fantasy Origins is done because you guys are working on the DLC, and the DLC is going to be out. Is there anything else you should be looking forward to for the year, prep work for any more releases, yada, yada, yada? The 20th anniversary of Kingdom Hearts is happening this year, or is happening extremely soon. And Nomura went on to say that there's both prep and releases scheduled for this year and next. That both years, this year and next, are going to be really busy for him specifically. And I'm like, okay, it's time. So now I'm going to throw the ball over to Sarah. And Sarah, let me know what you think, or any type of final expectation. We're going to be talking for like a couple of hours. Final expectations, final predictions. What do you want to see, or would like to see, or you think you're going to see, or hear, we should say, for the 20th anniversary event that's happening this Sunday?
I'm one of those people who does get probably a little overhyped. I can't really help it.
No, there's no such thing. No such thing.
Yeah, but I try not to get disappointed though, like if my expectations aren't met. But
right.
I think that it's, for me, just more fun to just get like excited. I don't know. Yeah. But for me, it's like, I think that all signs point to that we are getting at least something. like to say that like nothing's gonna happen and it's just gonna be an event, like I just can't really see that being a thing. If you think about how when Sora got announced for Smash, they gave us a video that kind of was like hyping up the 20th anniversary event. Like, why would they show that to the whole world?
Absolutely.
If they weren't going to do something, even if it's just a teaser, right? So I don't know. I'm expecting at least a teaser. That's me personally, whether that be a side game like Veramrex or whether that be maybe they'll show like an actual side game, like a non-numbered title, like the gameplay of it even, and maybe like a release window, and then maybe a teaser for Kingdom Hearts 4. That's probably thinking positively, but like I think it would kind of make sense, you know, to announce Kingdom Hearts 4 on the 20th anniversary. But I don't know, just even getting any sort of like teaser for me is like, I'll be happy. I don't know.
Good.
But yeah.
Right.
That's good. Yeah,
That's
that'll
me.
do.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, thinking about like going throughout the years of Kingdom Hearts and whatnot, especially when it comes to like, you know, the newer games being revealed and announced, Kingdom Hearts 3, 2.8, 2.5, 1.5, all that good jazz, and even Union Cross and Dark Road, I feel like when it comes to announcements and whatnot, like, you know, comparatively to other series, I feel like we've been eating like extremely good, like too good, right? And I'm
Absolutely.
like, I kind of expect us to continue to eat good, because a lot of people are like, oh, don't get your hopes up for Kingdom Hearts or Square Enix or anything like that. I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, compared to other games like, you know, Metroid and Kirby, even Zelda, we've been eating like substantially good when it comes to consistent and transparent news from, you know, Nomura and Palace.
Yeah.
And I'm like, listen.
I mean,
like,
absolutely. Like this series, I think the whole like weight towards Kingdom Hearts 3 has infested people's minds a little bit, because if you think back to like after, I mean, since the series like began back in 2002, but really like after the release of Kingdom Hearts 2 2006, JP 2005, like they went off. We had days in like what 2008. Then 2010 we had Birth by Sleep, 2011 we had Recoded, 2012 we had Dream Drop Distance, 2013 1.5, 2014 2.5. Are you kidding me?
Like we're not
I
crazy.
Get the
like
remixes, but like what? That's crazy, man. That's crazy. And I also think that like people have to understand now that due to Square having knowledge and education towards the Unreal Engine 4, they know what they're doing, assets are already developed. It will not take as long to develop this next game as it did with Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Nowhere near close. Nowhere near close.
Yeah.
You know, it's... Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh, no. I was going to talk about what I think. I'm pretty much on board with Sarah. I'm expecting, like, at least something. There has got to be at least, at minimum, one thing, and I think that should be like ideally whatever the next project is. I mean, I want to say Kingdom Hearts 4. I really do believe it is Kingdom Hearts 4, but then I also lean towards this 2-project thing with like a tease for KH4 and then whatever else is going to be next, which would be a subtitled game. I lean towards the idea of like a Mickey game, but Veramrex would also be quite cool. But I think like for the people that are saying nothing, bro, like, it specifically says as well, no photos, no videos. We know what happens when they mention that kind of junk. For one, I also think it's to keep... Yeah, for one, I think it's to keep, like, the event exclusive to that degree. Keep that kind of exclusivity type thing. And, like, I also know that Nomura doesn't like the whole photos thing. He'll likely be there.
Yeah.
But I think that's more so for the case of, like, yeah, there's probably going to be something they'll show. I know everyone hates it, but, like, the whole behind closed doors thing, 2.5 launch event sort of thing. It's just there's no reason for them to say no photography or no videos. Like, come on.
Exactly.
It's a big event too. It's long. All of the little cryptic hints towards it, 104 and like the building itself, like it's too perfect. They could have had it on the 20th anniversary. Why did they specifically choose 10/4? You know?
Yeah.
13 days afterwards.
Agreed.
Yeah, 13 days afterwards, right? I mean, they missed the opportunity. Like, is there a 13th floor in that building?
I'm sure there is. I am sure there is.
Come on,
but I'm
man.
pretty sure the
ninth floor.
The 9th floor probably had all the accommodations ready for them, you know. So, like, it was just like, okay, we can have a stage here, we can have a little concert there, and, you know, probably the 9th floor was, like, the best floor. But I swear, if they could have... Yeah, the 13th floor is going to be the after party. That's where everyone's going to go. You know, I swear, if they could have done the 13th floor, they would have done it. You know, psychotic as Nomura is, and the fact that this is actually happening on Haley Joel Osment's birthday as well, I'm like, come on, no, they're said, no, you can't be doing this.
Oh
Like,
wow, I didn't think about
I missed that.
yeah,
That's interesting.
that
Wow.
is
That is interesting.
crazy. And then, you know, what else was I gonna say? No. There was like some math going on. I'll remember it later. But I definitely agree with all of everything you guys are both saying when it comes to, like, you know, what we can expect, the teasers or whatnot, and the fact that, like, oh yeah, no photography, no video. I mean, like, the reason why they're saying that is probably like is because they're gonna be doing some, so they can control what they show off on their own speed. Like, you know, we could show
Absolutely.
off, get like a big reaction video and stuff. Because I mean, like, think of it like this, right? Square Enix and Disney, they love putting out content of people's reactions to the stuff they show off, right? So in order to control the possible hype of showing off, let's say, the next Kingdom Hearts game or Kingdom Hearts 4, they would love to have that in their own, I would say, power, and have people react there and have that exclusive, like, reaction behind closed door for them to utilize their own for promotional purposes after the fact and stuff. It's like, oh, and here we finally revealed Kingdom Hearts blankety blank, and then you see, like, everybody just go crazy, whatever, and then that's something they can use for themselves. But when it comes to
Yeah,
what
to
could
build like
possibly-
anticipation sort of thing.
exactly. And the one thing, more than one thing that I feel is going to go down when it comes to, like, any type of game reveals or releases or whatever, I definitely agree in line with a Kingdom Hearts 4 teaser showing at the very end of the event. But I feel that we are due for multiple game reveals.
Yeah,
teaser or
absolutely.
not. So
I do feel that. As much as
Yeah.
I don't want to be like Hype
Yes.
Master 666 sort of thing, like it's also at the same time, like, I just feel as if, because we know that there's multiple Kingdom Hearts teams now, it would, in my eyes, make sense to give us that slight tease for KH4, yeah, coming in like the next 2 years, but then also give us something else. I mean, I do have this gut feeling, and, like, I honestly think Square Enix would be stupid not to have another Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I hate to say it, but they made so much money through Union Cross Unchained Key. Absolutely, they'd be missing out if they didn't continue it, right?
I'm telling you, the
that's
Scala
true.
Mickey game, that's gonna be the mobile game.
God, I hope not. I don't know. Have something else. I don't know, cause, like, no, please not. I want that solo Mickey game. Like, don't do that to me. I mean, hey, if it was either the Verum Rex or the Mickey game, one had to be mobile. All right, Mickey. Sorry, my boy, you're getting sacrificed, but
Yeah.
please, no. I need the solo Mickey game. Epic Mickey 3, give it to me. It's gonna happen.
The only thing with mobile games is I feel like they need to stop with, like, it comes out in the West like 3 months later, because
yeah, I hated that.
I stopped playing because of that. Like, all the spoilers on Twitter, like, which, like, understandably so, and I'm just like,
Unavoidable,
well,
right?
yeah. Yeah. Oh, also,
Absolutely.
I wanted to say one more thing too. The tweet last year that they were going on hiatus, that
Yeah.
also points towards something, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
don't expect anything this year, even though we
Until
were treated
now, yeah.
beautifully last year. Like,
Man.
damn lie. But, like, towards new developments, yeah, they went on
Yeah.
hiatus. So it's like, okay, so you're back for 2022 then. That's what you're telling us.
Yeah, that's how I took it, at least.
No,
Yeah.
I definitely
No,
understand that.
you're dead on. You're dead on. Yeah.
It's crazy because, like, even though they were like, yeah, man, like, we're taking this year off in 2021, and, like, that was, like, everything we got in 2021, that was when they considered a year off. We got Kingdom Hearts on PC, we got Kingdom Hearts on, Kingdom Hearts on Switch was this year. Alright, so, like, Kingdom Hearts on PC, we got, what do you call it, Sora and Smash, we got
Dark Road Finale, which
yeah,
was
the
amazing. It was amazing.
the Union Cross finale.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Union
yeah.
Cross, right.
Because I'm like, wait, Dark Road finale is,
Yeah.
like, this year still. Yeah,
Soon,
the Union Cross
soon.
finale, the Kingdom Hearts on PC, Sora and Smash, the announcement of the 20th anniversary event. Like, bro, like, that's your off year? That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
that was
Right.
nuts. That was nuts. Yeah. Because hiatus to me, I was like, damn, it's gonna be a dry one. It's gonna be a dry one. Then, like, PC, I mean, that just completely changed the Kingdom Hearts scene with the amount
Oh,
of
yeah.
mods and stuff that came through. I mean, holy shit. So that was like a
And-
massive wave in itself. That was
And
great.
it's crazy how, like, you know, given like certain, like, Square Enix and certain developers' track records when it comes to them porting games to the PC, Kingdom Hearts 3 on PC is actually like the best version of the game.
Yeah,
which is like insane.
absolutely.
I'm like, I'm so happy. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, Square don't have a good track record with the PC ports, but they nailed number 3 at least. Like, I know there were like a few issues and still are a few issues with the older games due to the engine and all that kind of thing, but for the most part, pretty good ports. They did alright.
Man, but that's what I'm thinking. I'm honestly, like, since the event is gonna be like 3 hours long, and they already confirmed that it's gonna have a concert, it's gonna have Q&A with the development team, it's gonna have an exhibition. I'm like, when they said exhibition, I'm like, okay, what do you mean by that, right? And I honestly believe that if we're gonna get another game announcement besides that of 4, possibly that of Venom Rex, like Nomura playing the game, you know, I would love to see like Yozora combat, Yozora gameplay, Quadratum gameplay of just him like fleshing out this character a little bit more, and fleshing out the world of Quadratum, which if you guys have not played the Quadratum mod in Kingdom Hearts 3, remind, on PC, a lot of Quadratum, a lot of Shibuya has collision, hit detection, wall running, like it's insane. Like, if you're able to break boundaries on your own without using the mod, then you're able to land on the floor below the 104 building. And I'm like, but why? You're like, wait, what?
No, like, a lot of outside of like the rooftop of the 104, there isn't any collision.
Then
none of that has collision. No. So the 13th vessel, he actually had to go ahead and like rescale everything and add collision through the Unreal Engine. Yeah. So outside of that rooftop, there is no collision, because essentially, without that mod, if you like, let's say, use the debug camera or like no clips or like outside of the boundaries, if you go down to that street level, like, everything is randomly scaled, like, to a point where you are literally Ratatouille, Remy, like, in the streets. Like, the cars are massive, and, like, you'll fall through the ground. There's, like, no collision or anything there. He added that in all himself,
That's insane. Because I was under the impression the whole time that was just, like, hit detection or collision, like, under the building. But that means that means there had to be a skeleton in place in order for him to, like, put all the Unreal Engine collision detection on it, right?
Yeah, that's
it takes me back, like, how dedicated these people are in the community, man. It really is quite
so talented.
Yeah. But it is insane.
But looping back to the original point where I'm trying to make with that is, like, the fact that all that is there, you know?
Oh, absolutely,
like, absolutely. They had to, like, get ready for something like that, right? And I'm
absolutely,
like, so, like, you're gonna have all this, like, ready, all this, like, framework ready, and not have something, like, worked on for the next thing. You're telling me that he's just gonna, like, you know, put all that together. It's like, yeah, man, we're never gonna use it again, or yeah, man, that's not gonna amount to anything, right? That was like, I feel that was like the test run for that.
For sure, because if we remember back to one of the interviews that Nomura did leading up to the Remind DLC, he did mention that there was going to be another world that was going to be in the Remind DLC, but it was removed. And I do honestly believe that was going to be at least a portion of Quadratum. So at that stage, I think that at least parts of Quadratum, like before the Remind DLC, were already developed, essentially. But they decided last minute, actually, no, let's hold off. It kind of just makes sense to, like, have the secret episode, have the fight, not give this too much context type of thing. But it sounds like, I don't know for sure, obviously, if, like, Shibuya was going to be that world that they were considering putting into the Remind DLC. But at the very minimum, there is something there that was developed, and I would say will be contained in whatever is the next game.
Oh,
yeah, for sure.
Now, because I mean, like, why would you, like, put that into the data greeting and have its own, like, 2 tracks? Like, Shibuya has 2 tracks, like the battle theme for Yozora, and then of course, like, the world theme that you can only hear during the data greeting. Why, why put that all together and why have that available if it didn't mean something in the future?
Absolutely, and like, if you look at, I don't know, all of the surroundings and stuff, I mean, there's just so much detail for it to just be one little small arena. It's crazy. There's so much detail. Yeah.
God,
so also, what's your guys' opinions on the whole Disney Plus series thing? You know, the rumors back in 2020, It's been some time. The rumor was, of course, that there is a series in the work, and this was coming from like different Disney Plus insiders or like film insiders and stuff, saying that there's going to be a series that is developed on apparently Unreal Engine 4, which is interesting. I've never really heard of a series developed on Unreal Engine, but I don't know, it could be a thing. No idea. And that it will be 3D CG, similar to like the openings and the endings and all that kind of thing. Do you guys believe that rumor is true, and do you think that there is a potential chance we could hear about that as well this weekend?
That's a really good point that you brought up. That, you know, I've seen a lot of people talk about, you know, the whole perspective of Kingdom Hearts anime or Kingdom Hearts show and whatnot. My idea on that is, you know, we've heard about like a couple of times from the insiders, and then it just kind of like flatlined for a little bit. And, you know, I would love, honestly, as a Kingdom Hearts fan, I would love for something like that to happen. The whole idea of it using Unreal Engine is not out of the realm of possibility, because, you know, Square used to have their own in-house studio to make, you know, certain movies for like the games, or even that of, you know, compilation, like for Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, when they decided to make the movies in-house for the Kingdom Hearts opening, for the endings and all that stuff. They used to do all that with their own, you know, tools and whatnot, and now they're shifting over to Unreal Engine. So I would definitely believe if they, you know, want to use Unreal Engine to continue that line of work with possibly a Kingdom Hearts show, I feel it's very believable. But considering that, you know, what we've heard and who we heard it from, I'm like, I don't think it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't happen, I didn't really have that much investment in that, you know, basket. So I wouldn't be mad or sad either way if they don't announce anything at the event. So Sarah, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I think it'd be really cool because I personally really enjoyed like back cover. So I mean, I'd be down, and I've said this before, but I think like, you know, a 30-something-year-old Haley Joel Osment Sora live action would be pretty great. I'm just kidding, but I do think a Disney Plus series would be cool. But I'm not expecting it. That's how I feel.
No. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do feel as if Disney would be missing hard out. It would be probably one of their more popular series, I do feel, just due to the you know, the dedicated fan base and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't. There's obviously no expectation. But considering the fact that, you know, like Nier is receiving an anime, which is like dope. Nier Automata. Oh man, very cool. I think the next logical Square Enix IP to receive a show, especially because it's backed by Disney, would be Kingdom Hearts. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't know the credibility of those insiders though, so like I can't really vouch for them per se. But there were at least 3 of them that came out that apparently have a track record. Apparently.
I think, like, I don't know if it was Sky last episode, but I think he mentioned that the only thing is that they would probably want to do something that like newcomers could enjoy. Like maybe not a story that kind of plays off of where we're at right now, which I think makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. It would have to be
I honestly
that
wouldn't mind if
anyone
it's
could
a
like,
retelling.
Yeah, even that. Yeah. True.
And honestly, if they were to get any type of adaptation, anime, CG, any type of style, whatever, honestly, a lot of people said either retelling or that of something that's gonna either compound Union Cross or even be supplementary. That's like the next canon thing is actually a show within that of the Phase 2. You know, honestly, I would really be itching for an adaptation on the manga, because that Kingdom Hearts manga is so good. And like, if they were to adapt the manga, I'm sold easily.
Yeah.
It is. It's so good. It gives like so much more personality to a lot of these characters that we've become so familiar with. Like the Days manga is fantastic. It's fantastic. Like I don't know, what was it? DMX loves bucket chicken. You're not gonna see that in like the actual games or anything, but that's a fun fact, man. So good, so good.
Even though it had like really funny moments like that, it also had like really dark moments too.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
That's the things where I'm like, okay, maybe this may not reach Disney Plus if they were to do that.
That's the issue then with Disney behind it. Yeah.
if you guys haven't read the manga, in the Kingdom Hearts 2 manga, the way that Shan Yu, the villain from Mulan, dies in the manga, Sora beats his ass, but he's not dead yet, right? Zigbar shows up and literally shoots him in the head off screen, and then
Okay.
He dissipates, and I'm like, all right, that's crazy, man. I'm telling you, that Kingdom Hearts manga is ballistic. No, you don't see that. Is there like a bullet
hole with some smoke or
no.
coming out?
You see the gun pointing at his head, then you hear the shot. You see Sora hear the shot off screen, and then the next thing you know, Shan Yu's like a mark on the floor. He's like you're already dissipating. I'm like, yee, that's crazy. Oh my god. And then
they were kind of getting close with Chain of Memories, right?
Oh yeah, Chain of Memories was fine. Oh, let me tell you about how Marluxia died in the manga, bro. In the manga, Marluxia gets stabbed through the face by Sora. Like, Sora was mad, and
that's the one I'm missing. I need to get that.
Oh, that one was cool. And then the Kingdom Hearts 1 manga, like, this one was a little bit wild, and people were like, oh, that doesn't it's not true. She could be this, she could be that. So Sora, when he first runs into Traverse Town, the first person he meets there is actually implied to be a hooker, right? And I'm like, that's. And then she gets smoked by a Heartless.
Hello?
Like, right after that, she gets smoked by a Heartless. I'm like, okay, this is crazy. All right. But
I've got the first one sitting on my I need to read that tonight.
Yeah, I have them too. I've read some of it, but not all of it.
I'm just waiting for the Kingdom Hearts 3 manga to be done. I'm like, yo, I can't wait to see how they adapt that. Man, the manga is so good. So if we ever get a Kingdom Hearts anime, I would love for them to adapt the manga, or even the light novels. The light novels are actually really good as well. If you guys haven't read them, they actually add a lot of, like, none of these things are canon. But they do add a little bit of, like, I would say, perspective from the writer. I think it was, her name was Shiro. I don't know.
Amano?
Yeah, Shiro Amano, I think. Yeah, Shiro Amano.
Yeah.
From their perspective, when it comes to the manga and the light novel, they add, like, a lot of cool details, like Vanitas. Like, his backstory is actually explained through the light novels before we find out that he could possibly be a cognitive darkness from Dark Road and Union Cross. But it's all very interesting. I heavily recommend reading these. They're super good. Now,
it is its own self-contained thing for, like, people that don't know, because I've seen a lot of people quoting some of the things that, like, appear in these adaptations for, like, the novels or, like, the mangas and stuff. There was some stuff there towards Yozora, and, like, while it could have been, I don't know, maybe passed on from Nomura or something like that, it's their own take, their own little spin and flavor on top of stuff that's known or is not currently known. So
right.
I think that should be a known thing about these, because I saw, like, some stuff going around about Yozora, and I'm like, I would never take, like, any of the stuff that appears in these manga editions as, like, facts or, like, lore to that of what pertains to the game at all.
Right.
But it's a cool spin on what we already know.
Oh, hell, a cool spin, yo. Doesn't make it any less fun. All right, so
absolutely.
I'm trying to find out who wrote it, because I'm like, the chat's telling me that the manga was actually drawn by Shiro Amano, but someone else wrote
Oh, the artist. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Illustrator, but I'll get to that in a second. But going on forward to the 20th anniversary event, and what else it could entail. If we were to let's gear towards Yozora a little bit, since Jared brought it up. If we were to get any type of, I would say, understanding of a Yozora game or a Yozora, art or anything like that, how deep would you guys want that to get before we even understand this character, possibly in that of Kingdom Hearts 4 or in the game? Personally, I want to know more, as much as, like, I understand the mystery is a big draw to this character, but I want to know as much as I can before I actually, like, get right into the, I would say, the dirty of it. Because it's really apparent that Yozora is going to be, if not the second most important character, if not, like, rivaling that of Sora's importance moving forward into Phase 2. And I want to know what your guys' take on that, with the whole deal with Yozora, how important he's going to be, how much you want to know about him going into the next phase. And I'm all in the camp for the next game, if it's not 4, or even if it is 4, to be Yozora's game. Of course, like, every numbered title is going to be Sora's adventure, but in Kingdom Hearts 4, I would want, like, you know, Sora and Yozora split down the middle, kind of like Dream Drop Distance with Sora and Riku. That's what I would like to see for 4, if we're not going to get a Yozora game. But I'm going to go ahead and throw it over to Jared first for this one. So what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I've thought about the idea, like the DDD thing totally makes sense. I really like that. They both have their own goals of what they're doing, like in Quadratum or whatever. I think that would be super cool. But also maybe just like its own self-contained thing, where it's Yozora's story kind of leading up to the eventual crossing paths of him and Sora type thing, and then the final boss of that game would be a Sora fight. I think would just be the sickest thing ever. But I think that would be like a good way to kind of explain like his intentions. No doubt maybe he's like cross paths with, I don't know, maybe the Master of Masters or something, and he's been put up to some kind of task. I don't know. But I don't know, just to explain, like to have that own self-contained game to explain why he's doing what he's doing. And to like get just a better backstory of like where he came from, who his friends were, because it seems like there are parallels that are drawing between kind of Sora and Yozora. I mean, the names, for God's sake. Like, the names, for God's sake. And so it makes me think, like, is he even from, like, Shibuya Quadratum, per se? Or does he have, like, an island or something that is opposite to that of an island with 2 other friends? I mean, he does have 2 other friends, as we saw in the, you know, Manga and Agnes or whatever.
Manga and Aegis thing, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I would like that type of setup. I think that would be cool. That would be like a good way of explaining who he is, his intentions, and all of that type of thing. But I love the DDD idea. I really do love the DDD idea. But I think to just better flesh out him as a character, not to kind of take the focus away, especially if it was like a drop gauge system sort of thing where we like.
Oh no, never again! I don't want to see that shit ever again.
Absolutely.
I love Dream Drop
think
Distance, but no.
Yeah, I think it would just be better to flesh him out to have his own installment type of thing. Yeah.
So what do you think, Sarah?
Yeah, I agree. I think the idea of like having both perspectives is cool. But at the same time, what Sora's doing is probably not that exciting because he's just kind of lost. But it would be cool to see. But it would be cool to at least have like some like little like moments where we do see what Sora's doing, but maybe more of a focus on Yozora. I think that would be really cool. I did have like a funny thought. I tweeted this, but like I was thinking like, what if they took the trailer that was in Kingdom Hearts 3 in Toy Box, and that was the announcement? That'd be so funny.
Oh God, yeah.
With the same cover art and everything.
Absolutely.
Oh, yo, if they were just to
absolutely.
push out a Verum game, like same box art and everything, I'm like, yo, it's real. Like,
Yeah.
It looks good. I mean, the box art is nice.
Very
I
convincing.
like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would make sense though to have like a Verum Rex game before Kingdom Hearts 4, but if not, I mean, I don't really care. I'm just excited. I don't know.
No.
But yeah.
Like you guys were saying before we started the stream, yo, Kingdom Hearts season, it's back. It's back.
Oh, it is. It is.
Oh
It
my
feels
goodness.
so good. It feels so good. Brings me back, man. Brings me back.
Yeah, it
I mean,
brings
like,
me
if we
back from
think
like
about it,
a couple of years ago. Like,
I mean, yeah, the last time, I mean, if you don't really include the Remind stuff, because, you know, that was more like sprinkles and stuff. It was still exciting, don't get me wrong, but like when we were truly in the season, and there have been things since, again, don't get me wrong, but in the sense of the season, like, damn, that was, what, 2018? And then January came, 2019, the game's out, and so the season kind of ended at that point. So we're finally back into that whole, like, alright, the mystery, what's gonna happen. Then there'll be like those months where we get the Famitsu interviews and like find out cool tidbits and all that sort of thing, man. It's exciting. It's exciting.
Yeah. I miss it.
It's back. Kingdom Hearts season is back. You know, like, and it's crazy because like even though we're back into this type of noise, I feel like we never really left, and I have to like really appreciate like Square Enix and Disney and Nomura for like, you know, keeping us in the vibe, like in their own specific ways, but like sprinkling, like you said, Remind, the PC ports, all that stuff. It's like really crazy because like they really could have just like dropped the DLC, and I'm like, okay, man, I'll see you guys in like 5 years for the next title, whatever. But like, no, we got Melody of Memory, we got Road, man. Like, we've been
They honestly treat the community like so well.
Yeah.
We're like a bunch of kids that they know they appreciate the love they hand down to us. Like,
Yep.
they really do take care of this community with all of the cool different concerts and events and the way that they, like, announce these certain things. Because I suppose, like, I mean, they've always known, like, there's a certain amount of hype behind Kingdom Hearts, but I think it's more obvious nowadays than ever before, and I think this is something that especially Disney is starting to notice through the whole Kingdom Hearts 3 thing. That's also kind of what gets me a little bit excited about this new era of Kingdom Hearts Phase 2, is that I feel like Disney will be more on board than kind of ever before. And I don't know whether or not that would like come into play with towards, you know, funding of Square Enix and stuff like that, if Disney are prepared to maybe invest a bit more now into the actual franchise. Yeah, for sure. We're gonna start seeing some even cooler things, I feel.
Oh, I'm excited because, like, I feel like, you know, at the end of the day, Disney is a conglomerate. They're a business, and they like to make money, right? So if they know, like, they make more money by keeping Kingdom Hearts fans, you know, like, satisfied repeatedly with content, like, you know, throughout the years or whatever, then, you know, it's going to happen. Now, of course, when it comes to, like, you know, what they can do to, like, help out Square Enix, of course, like, the main thing is funding, right? Funding, and then possibly, you know, maybe nudging them is like, hey, listen, you know, we could use another game, like maybe another game, maybe another 2 games, maybe another 3 games or whatever. And even into 3, where they finally decide to, like, hey, listen, wow, Kingdom Hearts actually is doing stuff, you know, they still give Nomura free reign for the most part when it comes to, like, you know, his own creative freedoms or whatever. And the fact that, and then I want to talk about this for a little bit, and the fact that Nomura looks like he's finally gonna have his revenge one way or another versus 13. I'm like, yo, Nomura's like, yo, if Square don't got me, Disney's got me. Like, I'm gonna have my versus game one way or another.
Yeah, absolutely. It's happening.
That's insane.
It's happening.
And you know, the craziest thing about that, like, doing, I put out a video today about that, and I did, like, a super amount of research into, like, you know, the whole, you know, Saga versus 13, Veramrex, and, like, Falba Nova Crystallis and all that stuff. Like, it's crazy to think about that Nomura really thought that he can trick us by saying that, like, oh, these 2 things are not connected. I don't know what you guys are talking about. And then Remind comes out, and then you have the 2011 versus 13 trailer recreated with Yozora. I'm like,
it's
you gotta
frame to frame.
Like, exactly.
The cutscene is frame to frame.
I was editing.
Like, it's ridiculous.
I was editing both, like, videos, and I went frame by frame. And I'm like, yo, this really is the same fucking trailer. That's insane.
Do like a transparency overlay of both of those clips, and that's the same thing. It's the same thing, dude. The hair color's different or whatever, but it's the same thing.
The car has the same, like,
interiors.
Yeah, the fabric patterning in the walls, they had the same pattern. I'm like, you didn't have to do that. Like, we got the picture. He's in a car, he's waking up, sitting like Noctis. I get it, right? But then I see all, like, the patterns in the, like, bro, like, come on.
It's
like,
the same Mercedes. It is the same Mercedes.
Yep.
So with that perspective, I want, like, let's dive into a tangent really quick about that. So, like, Sarah, give me your perspective of how you felt about that whole notion, like, especially when you beat Reminded and you saw that and you're like, oh, come on, like, that's like.
I was definitely, I felt trolled because, saying that they're not connected, like, come on. I mean, it was obvious from the jump, but, like, it's just so funny. I don't know. It blew my mind. And I mean, to see, Luxord specifically.
Oh, yeah.
That really
wild.
got me. That is so interesting. But I don't know. I was just, that was really cool.
Yeah, he is like, I suppose the equivalent to that of Core from 15, right?
Yeah.
Like, because Core was sort of like the, I don't know,
he was kind of the do boy. If Ignis wasn't there, Core was the do boy.
Yeah, but he kind of took care of, like, the group. In a way, it was like the group dad type of thing, overseeing them from time to time and, like, guiding them and stuff. So I guess that's Luxord.
Right.
I still cannot get used to that, by the way. Like, everyone's minds were blown when they finally heard the pronunciation of it in Kingdom Hearts 3.
I still hate it. I hate it.
I hate it as well. I can't do it. I can't do it. can't do it.
I've kind of trained myself, but yeah, Luxord.
Yeah,
sounds better.
you nail it. You nail it. You're really good at it.
I still get mixed up, so I still call him Luxord sometimes. Because I mean, come on, like it's Lux and Lux is actually a thing like that has
in the game. Yeah, it's called Lux.
Right? And I'm like, but Luxord, and then like Luxord, like luck in a game, like in a.
Yeah, I know.
I don't get it. Whatever, Luxord. It's Luxord, guys.
Kingdom Hearts trying to be all hipster. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think of it like the name Luke, like Luke. So
Luke
the name.
Sword. Oh, that helps.
It makes it sound
Yeah,
a little
that
bit better.
It
A little,
help.
yeah.
It does help. You got these strats.
Man. I was gonna tear my hair out. Like the first time I heard Vexen said Luxord, do I detect that? I'm like, the what now? Like I was about to like, tear my hair out.
Like, bruh.
It's not true.
And like it was also amazing too. By the way, I will always call Lee Axel because he himself in the game said it's still Axel.
I know.
The amount of people that are like, bro, it's actually Lee.
Yeah,
right?
I know.
Actually.
Right.
Yeah. He prefers his name to be Axel. Alright?
And the fact and remind that they were able to reclaim the X. Like, you know, so that's theirs now. So like it's his name now. It's not a name given to him. No, it's mine. Also, guys, you need to understand how impactful that scene was in Remind. People were like, oh man, what a waste. It was like, yo, they reclaimed the Rikusa Sigil. Like, why did they have to put this? Like, yo, that's a big deal. Like, imagining like having like a boss or a leader or even like a supposed father figure that straight up caused you so much pain in your life. And, like, he will always have that type of ownership over you thanks to the name he gave you, right? Mm-hmm. The fact that Shion, Roxas, and Axel were able to reclaim that for themselves and, like, truly claim the names for themselves, that they're no longer bound to, like, the pain that Xemnas has caused them. That's, God, I love
they're
Kingdom Hearts 3.
independent.
Oh, my
they're
God.
independent.
Yeah.
And so
absolutely,
that scene was powerful, man. I love that scene. I love Kingdom Hearts 3. I love Roxas. But gearing off the versus 13 aspect, because we got the take from Sarah. Yo, Jared, I know you were howling. Tell me about your experience when you were
man, like I'm like, So, like, okay, not that I am most certainly not a 15 hater. It's actually one of my favorite Final Fantasy games because I really do struggle to play turn-based video games. I can do the odd one if it is good enough to pull through, but, like, for the most part, can't do it. So, 15 was actually the first Final Fantasy game I finished, and it was, I think, fantastic. But, that being said, also following, like, Versus 13 during its period while it was Versus 13.
Yo, big
absolutely. I was like high-key excited for it. I think the thing that like drove me into it though was knowing that like within I think one of the very first trailers, it clearly states from the team that brought you Kingdom Hearts, right?
Yep.
It's like it's everywhere. So I'm like, oh my god. So to know that this is finally coming to fruition in a way was what made me absolutely shit my pants. It was more of like a proud moment though, I guess, for like Nomura, because I know that like Square were getting obviously quite impatient with the man. They're like, okay, we've got to do something with this. And I understand that he was probably quite busy at the time trying to juggle multiple different things. Time constraints, it never happened. But it's been made very clear that in a way, okay, Kingdom Hearts will always be his child, his star child, but there was some kind of special passion and love there for Versus 13. Seemed like the man had some big plans, big ideas. So I guess the excitement drew from the fact of like knowing that finally Tetsuya Nomura gets his time to shine to utilize the ideas he once had into what is his star child, is like it all kind of coming full circle in a really weird way. I love it. It's kind of perfect. I know a lot of people still like, because there is that side where it's like, I hate the fact that this is coming into Kingdom Hearts, because unfortunately, there is sometimes a bit of a divide between like Final Fantasy to that of Kingdom Hearts. It's not the majority, of course. Yeah. But I have seen a lot of this whole like, oh,
it's that
damn,
weird
dude,
rivalry,
like, it's
man.
in Kingdom Hearts. Like, no, this is not my Versus 13. But, we ignore the noise. Like, I'm so happy for Nomura, and it makes me think he's going to be hitting his final form. Like, if we thought this first saga was like dope, oh my god, like, oh my god, phase 2
Yeah.
is going to be nuts. Nuts.
Now-
I agree.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I feel like it's oh, I lost my train of thought. Wait.
No, you're good.
Hold on.
You're good.
I had something.
There's a lot to think about.
It is a lot to think about. Oh, okay. I was gonna say I feel like with them kind of not doing as much Final Fantasy, that could have been their way of sort of transitioning into the Versus 13 Final Fantasy.
Right.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
so that there's not so much going on when it comes to that. Because I know a lot of
Yes.
people were upset with like the lack of Final Fantasy.
Yeah,
But-
absolutely. I mean, it has slowed down for sure.
But I feel
Yeah.
like with
Yeah.
every Final Fantasy, they always like trying to like, you know, get bigger, better, bigger, 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 bigger. And like 16 right
Yeah.
now is looking fucking. Woo, I can't wait
Yeah.
for 16. But on that whole notion of Final Fantasy Verse 13 and how like some people are saying, oh wow, now it's gonna be into Kingdom Hearts. I'm like, you guys need to understand something. Like Jerry brought up a really good point, and I have all the citations and references to back this up. Like, you know, the only thing about Final Fantasy Versus 13 that you guys are like holding on to the idea that's like, oh, now it's in Kingdom Hearts was the name Final Fantasy. All right, because this was a game that was being led by Nomura and developed by his Kingdom Hearts team, and they were gonna bring a lot of aspects and contrast from Kingdom Hearts in order to make his own spin, his own dark spin on Final Fantasy. All right, like you got the Kingdom Hearts team, you got the Kingdom Hearts gameplay, you got the Kingdom Hearts setup, you got you know, battle system ideas that were carried over from Kingdom Hearts and reused in further Kingdom Hearts games after, you know, the whole spiel of what Verse 13.
Command menus there.
Exactly. And
It's like fucking there.
Noctis was literally created to be the polar opposite of that Sora in both designs and personality, right? And design, personality, and upbringing. And like now that, you know, the more it's actually like, you know what, maybe it's always it was always, you know, destiny for that to be its home in Kingdom Hearts. Like it was literally born from Kingdom Hearts, and now it's returning to the true, you know, Kingdom Hearts. And I'm like,
yeah.
honestly, that's poetic. I'm still burned out. Like, I'm burned by what happened with Verse 13, and I liked 15. I really did. There are some parts I loved about 15. There are some parts I didn't love so much about 15. But I would play it again, and I enjoyed it, and I love Noctis as a character. I love the story, right? But I'm definitely loving to see what Nomura's original vision is for Verse 13, because 15 was definitely not that, right? And that's what I'm like. I'm super, super excited for Venomrex and the possibilities what Yozora can bring to the table when it comes to Kingdom Hearts Phase 2. But gearing off other characters and Phase 2 and the possibilities of Phase 2, here's the funniest thing. And Sarah, I think I brought this up last time on stream with you, Dean, and Sky. And it was the whole idea how people were saying after Kingdom Hearts 3, how we're going to get hyped again for Kingdom Hearts. You know, Phase 2, what's going to be so exciting for that? And I'm like, how are you guys asking this question when, like, Yozora is sitting right there? Not only Yozora, but the fallout for Union Cross. Because that's like the same people that say, oh, after Avengers Endgame, you know, what's there to look forward to the MCU? I mean, did you see Spider-Man No Way Home? Are you not seeing what's going to go down in Multiverse of Madness? Like, WandaVision, Loki? Like, come on, right? So I feel there's plenty to look forward to and to be excited for the Kingdom Hearts story after Phase 1, because Phase 1, the Dark Seeker Saga, the Xehanort Saga, that's what the ending was, the end of Xehanort. And of course, that had heavy, heavy implications to the world and to certain protagonists, including Sora and Riku, and of course, Kairi. Now, here are avenues that I would like to explore when it comes to the future of Kingdom Hearts that a lot of people really aren't talking about. And that's, you know, what's going on with Elrena and Lorium. Does Ventus have his memories back? He's reunited with Chirithy. Where is Project X? Where is Subject X right now? You know, where are people, you know, doing in Radiant Garden when it comes to the Apprentices of Ansem the Wise and the Restoration Committee? There are so many different avenues we could explore, and then so many blank periods during the time of the year for searching for Sora that can easily become games, right? So when it comes to that idea, I'm gonna throw it over to Sarah first. What's one particular story that was left unfinished since the end of 3 that we know can follow through with possibly a game or another story that you would like to see explore, specifically either a character or like an arc? What's something you like to see?
That's such a tough question. An obvious one would be the Foretellers. I'm really excited.
Oh yeah.
What happens with that? I mean, that's just really cool. I want to know like what's up with Ava. I think another thing too is like the black box. Like, can we please find out what's in the black box?
What do you mean? It's hope. Hope's in the black box. It's hope.
Oh. So yeah, I definitely want, you know, for that storyline to get some closure. I don't know. There's so much. There's still so much that they can do with this story. Like, just because Xehanort's gone, like, does not mean, and he's not even like fully gone because of Dark Road. But it's like there's just so much that we can cover and that can be done, and I'm really excited to see how it all kind of ties in with one another. Like, how is like this Verum stuff gonna tie in with like the rest of the story, like the foretellers and stuff like that? Is it gonna be connected in some way? Like, how is it gonna work? Because I mean, we saw Master of Masters like in Shibuya, so I mean, I don't know. I'm just really excited, but there's just so much. I don't know.
No, it's crazy. Like, that's the thing about it. There's so many different avenues at this point, and that's why, like, when I think of this sort of subtitled game, because as we know, all of the numbered games are to do with Sora, as Nomura has mentioned. But for like whatever the next subtitled game is, it literally could be anything. It could have a focus on, you know, like the Mickey stuff, or like any of the other trios. Like, we know that the Wayfinder trio are currently in the Realm of Darkness. Like, just anything, you know, the foretellers. I mean, that is like one exciting thing. And I think, honestly, for me personally, like, while the whole Versus 13 stuff is exciting, I think the biggest thing towards why I am so hyped about this next saga is certainly the introduction of this super villain. So like, once we finally got that like introduction of the Master of Masters, you know, with like the whole Key saga, I'm like, okay, all right. Xehanort's, I guess, like, focus kind of dropped. Was it sort of the same for you guys? Like, in a sense of, like, we held him up to this, like, massive pillar, and, like, he was the main antagonist, for sure. But there was also this, I guess, other feeling of, like, okay, this will likely be, like, the next villain, or what is going to transpire, like, after the fact, once we've dealt with this guy, to a point where I wasn't really worried about the series getting boring or like not as interesting anymore.
Yeah.
Just because it ties in with everything beforehand, and then going forward, he then jumps, you know, like into the future through body hopping or whatever we can assume. I don't know. That for me kind of keeps my interest for Kingdom Hearts and my excitement, because we've now got this villain where it's like, we don't know what he looks like, right? There's that like overarching mystery of like, who is he? You know, all the theories and whatnot, Demix or whatever, whoever it is. So that's like a really exciting thing. The intentions of this dude, the box, which is super cool. We've also got like, you know, obviously Yozora, his true identity, all of that kind of thing. I think, you know, Nomura has intentionally left all of these mysteries to get people more invested in this next saga, so that it's not like, okay, it's done, we've got like maybe this one thing that still needs to be explained. I mean, it is Kingdom Hearts, there's always doors that are open, right? That was a terrible pun, but like, there's a lot of open things. It was pretty bad, let's be real. You don't have to be nice to me, bro. But no, there's so many doors. Like, for me personally, though, I don't know. I think a lot of these open roads will probably just be infused into like one or two other things. While there are different avenues we could take towards like a foreteller thing, I don't know, a different trio thing. I think I'm just more so excited for Yozora's explanation. That origin thing for me personally would be cool. But then also, like, I do want that Mickey thing. I've been mentioning this, but I really want the Mickey thing, dude. I really want the Mickey thing. I don't know. And I think, like, because Mickey is going to Scarlet Hikariemr, that will sort of help give more explanation towards the foretellers, as, like, his sole purpose to go there is to research more about the Lost Masters as well as Quadratum. So in a way, that could sort of be infused into that Mickey spin-off, whatever it might be. And also, like, I don't know if do you guys remember back to Unchained Key, when, like, Mickey, Donald, and Goofy turn up in Daybreak Town? That has dead-ass got to be, like, happening when he goes to Scarlet Hikariemr. There's going to be some time travel nonsense, I'm telling you right now. He was not alive 1,000 years back. That man's not that old. He's, like, 100 and something. or 100 something. I don't know. No
Yeah,
idea.
That's true.
Mickey's
Yeah.
old. What like, you know, what if Mickey doesn't age? Just like he's one of those timeless beings.
I mean, yeah, like, true. There's that, but like, it was a long ass time ago, man. Like, I don't know if they just turned out, because also too, like, he wasn't even a Keyblade Master. He was a Keyblade Master in Birth by Sleep. He only just became a Keyblade Master in Birth by Sleep 10 years before the events of where we are now. So something doesn't add up. For him to be there 1,000 years in the past, like in the gummy ship, I don't know. There's got to be time travel nonsense. Got to be time travel nonsense.
Man, we already seen that, like, you know, if Sid and Mickey really want to, they could just like bust out some weird magic thing that just happens to disregard the rules that they keep on trying to explain to us in Kingdom Hearts, like, you know, the Star Shard and
yeah,
you know,
they are Disney after all, right?
Yeah, you know, like it's the Disney magic. You know, Mickey has Toon Force. You know, that's how he gets back into the past. That's how he, like, you know, discovers all that stuff with Scalad, Kyler, and possibly Daybreak Town. But those are like really interesting perspectives. But like Jared, like I know you're super excited for a Mickey game, but I mean, like, come on, yo. Marluxia's back as Laurium. He's a Keyblade Master.
Oh, dude, yeah. Let's get the
dealer,
Union Cross crew. Absolutely, like, let's get the Union Cross crew. I mean, there's also that whole thing on, like, I don't know, the Key Saga remake type thing, or even if it's just like a Union Cross remake, where maybe it's like Ventus as the main character or something like that. I don't know. That would be absolutely amazing. But yes, you're speaking my language when you're saying like Laurium. We need more, and to know that he's likely going to be like finally his human form come the future games or whatever. That gets me so excited, and more Demax as well. We got to learn more about this dude too. There's obviously more to him.
It's crazy because we know enough about Demix. Like we almost know the same amount about Demix as we do the Master of Masters, and that scares me. That scares me. I don't like that.
That's
I don't
why
like
there's so many like connecting dots here. I know it is. It worries the hell out of me too, dude. I'm with you on that.
It's crazy because we know a little bit about Luke's sword now, but we know jack shit about Demix. Like, yo, I'm not.
When they leave these undeveloped character developments, right? Like, it just, for me, it screams like, now thanks to Luxord, it screams to me, there's more than meets the eye. Like, when it comes to these characters that have basically no backstory whatsoever. There is a reason. A reason. And, like, you know, I don't know, he was in Kingdom Hearts 3, but, like, very loosely. Like, very loosely. Unless there was a clear intention to use him going forward in the future, he wouldn't have been there at all.
Exactly,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird because, like, you know, what do you call them? Alias and Dylan, they show up, but they're not voiced because, like, they're just there.
There's just
right?
they're just there. Yeah, exactly.
But they called back the Demix voice actor and everything. It's like, hey, listen, we need you back. And like, yo, I'm voicing Demix again after how long? What? That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm excited because there's like I said before, there's so many avenues to explore with Kingdom Hearts. Like, you guys think it was over? No, it's nowhere near over. I'm ready to, you know, go another 20 years with this wild ride Nomura has in store for us because, man, it's been a crazy 20 years so far. Now, considering 20 years, this is the event, this is the anniversary that we're celebrating, and I would say, you know, tomorrow, not even tomorrow, it's just like a day and change or whatever. The Shibuya Hikari building is like, I wouldn't say it's like super important to, like, okay, it's like, it's a really important building in Japan when it comes to the Shibuya district, and of course, you know, a lot of people believe that's the building that the Masters were standing on at the end of the Yozora Secret movie and whatnot. And do you guys believe that Nomura chose this site for a specific reason when it comes to the 20th anniversary event? Do you think that he's really making all these choices like legitimately into like, okay, 13 days after the 20th anniversary, 4/10/10/4 in Shibuya, in the Shibuya Hikari building? You know, do you think this is all like, you know, because me and Audrey talk about this sometimes, like, yo, is this lore? Is this setting up something? What do you guys think? I'm gonna throw it over to Jared first this time. Like, this has to be meat.
Yes. This guy loves cryptic clues. Absolutely. Like, as I was saying, I think the biggest giveaway is they absolutely could have, for one, like, they could have used any venue they wanted to, right? So the fact that they chose this one, I don't think that, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's convenient for, you know, these kinds of things. So that's likely the biggest reason as to why they're doing it. But I think there is still like a hint. But I think the biggest giveaway is the date, because of the fact that they really could have had it on the 20th anniversary. That would have logically made the most sense. So the fact that they chose specifically 10-4, you know, the 104 building or whatever, that to me just screams like, okay, yeah, there's a reason for that, like, likely to do with the fact that Sora is in Quadratum, it's happening in Tokyo, Shibuya, like, probably a Quadratum reveal or something, I don't know. It just aligns up way too perfectly. They would have had it on the 20th day, the 20th anniversary day, in my opinion, if there wasn't some kind of crypticness planned.
Right.
This makes too much sense. Yeah. Makes too much sense.
Nomura, I love him. So what do you think, Sarah?
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't think that it's a coincidence. I will say I do think that us Kingdom Hearts fans do sometimes look into things probably a little too deeply, and maybe we do
Not
find
enough.
connections that aren't like real. But that's the fun of it, though. It's fun though. It's fun.
I know.
But no,
yeah.
but at the same time, Nomura does enjoy doing things like this. So
Yes.
I definitely don't think it's a coincidence. I really think that this is on purpose. And yeah.
He drives us crazy. It's his fault we're like this. All right?
Right,
It's his
exactly.
fault.
Like
I
more just
agree.
like molding us to like his wishes.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like that comment, when was it? It was in an interview, like, I don't know, was it a year ago or something, or 2 years back? I can't remember the context, but I think he said something along the lines of, like, I think people are, like, getting a bit too ahead of themselves, or, like, looking too into things, sort of
Yeah.
thing. And I'm like,
yeah, he
bro,
said something like that. I'm like, no,
you
no,
birthed
you're
this.
You
This
should
is
be
your
like-
fault.
you are not allowed to like accuse us of what you turned us into.
Yeah,
like, no.
I agree.
hard. I mean, I know he loves the discourse and like the conversation and the theories and all that. I know he loves it, and it's part of the beauty of this community is there's so many discussions and so many wild theories. I don't think there is one theory that can be considered that's crazy. Because
Yeah.
we've
Yeah.
seen crazy, you know. We've
That's true.
seen crazy. It's happened multiple times.
As long as it's within the realm afforded to us by this madman.
Oh,
then
absolutely.
No
we
Yeah.
can't be like, all right,
no theory's
Shrek's
off the
gonna be the
table.
secret boss or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's
You-
gonna
Trix
be
Rabbit?
within reason.
Do you like the Trix Rabbit from the cereal?
No, I love it. Not the Shrek's rabbit. No, I said Shrek for the secret boss.
Oh, Shrek!
the
I
Shrek.
was like,
That's
bro, I'm
equally
like-
as good. That's probably even better, bro.
like-
To be honest, let's go with the Shrek's rabbit.
He's like,
Hot
yo,
take.
they didn't give me my tricks. This is what happens. And then you just see him summon Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like, okay, what's going on? But
We get cereal summons for Quadratum, Captain Crunch.
kind of crunch. But honestly, it's funny because like Nomura claims all this stuff, but of course, you know, Nomura likes to mess around. Like he likes to like poke the bear when it comes to the Kingdom Hearts community, and like he's done it multiple times. But Shinji Hashimoto, he loves it when we like discuss and theorize. He's like, yo, you guys are the squad. That's crazy. And apparently,
Yeah.
when we're all at the premiere, we learned that like, yeah, apparently the Square Enix team in different regions, Japan, America, Europe, they watch our videos and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we guys watch you. And I'm like,
Yeah, they love the conversation. They absolutely. I think they also mentioned like during that what was it, the you know, when they were sitting down like giving us the briefing and stuff of everything. They were like, as they were talking about it, they said, you guys are going to have a lot to talk about, and people online are going to have a lot to talk about. And as it was, we had a lot to talk about. But that goes to show that, yeah, these dudes do pay attention to stuff that happens on social media and on YouTube and on, you know, on Twitch and stuff. I think that's one of the cool things about Square is they're very in touch with their community when it comes to the online presence of side of things over the past decade especially, and like taking in feedback and all of that kind of thing. I personally believe that like Remind is sort of a love letter to the feedback in a way. Granted, there are things, you know, in Remind that really should have been there from the get-go. I can't deny that, but it is definitely a love letter to the fact that they pay attention to this community, which is beautiful.
Yep.
man, it's so cool. Like, I remember the moments with you, Jared, where they were saying like, yeah, man, like we see Jared all the time, and he looks like a Kingdom Hearts character, which he like They think it's like the coolest thing ever. And then
yeah.
Wait, no, like, yo, he's so cool. What?
That was I don't know
think it was Yosoi that said that. Either it was Yosoi or
no, this was I think one of the Final Fantasy character designers or something. This is when we were at PAX, remember? And he's like, "Wow, yeah, you look like a Kingdom Hearts character." And I'm like, "This is like one of the lead Final Fantasy character designers telling me this." I'm like, "Oh my god, my dude, I'm done. Draw me, please."
And then I remember when I was at the Union Cross event, and like this was the first, like I felt both the striking like joy and fear when I ran into Justice Scarpone, who at the time was the vice president for Disney Japan. Like me and Octo and Ella, we were in the VIP booth, and then the Disney suits came in to like sit down, and then they shook our hand, and it was like, "Hi, like my name's Justin, nice to meet you." He's like, "Oh, Justin," and he's like, "We know who you are," and I'm like, at first I'm like, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, what?" Like, dude, I was like,
honored.
No,
yeah.
no, I was honored but frightened. I was like,
oh, absolutely. I mean, this is a big man. Right, big man.
It was crazy. But all things considered, when it comes like, jeez, I don't know how people, like, okay, I get how people can dislike Kingdom Hearts, but like, I don't know how people can dislike Kingdom Hearts. It's like, this game is like.
No, I get that. I get that.
It's an interesting thing. I've thought about this. I've thought about the fact of like, what if I wasn't introduced to it as a child, because it literally was my first video game, and how different things would be discovering it whilst I was a teenager. I mean, I'd like to think I'd always love action RPGs, but is that because I grew up with action RPGs? You know, a lot of what you do in your younger years kind of defines you in a way, to a degree, sort of shapes you. So I've always thought about this idea of like, if I didn't grow up with Kingdom Hearts, like, would it appeal to me? Which is an interesting thing. I've heard a lot of stories of people being like, I finally picked it up, I can understand what the hype's about, which is like a really cool thing. You know, you don't have to get into this video game series from a kid. You didn't have to grow up with it to love it or anything like that.
Right.
But it's a weird thought. It's a weird thought because like a lot of Kingdom Hearts, like, aside from the nostalgia, I can see why it is such an amazing game, but I've got to be honest, like, the nostalgia does feed my love for this game a hell of a lot. Like, I look at, like, the different box arts, or just the arts in general, or, like, play the games, and it sends me back to a wholesome time as me being a brainless, mindless child, and it's beautiful. I love it so much, you know, so I don't know. It's an interesting thought. Like, do you guys think you would be as into Kingdom Hearts if you didn't grow up with it? Like, Gio, like,
okay.
I'm so sorry, my dude.
No, yo, secret's out of the bag at this point. Like,
no. But like, how old were you when you first played Kingdom Hearts? You would have been like,
I was 12. So
12. I was gonna say 12. Right. So well, Sarah, how old were you?
I was 8.
Okay, so a little bit younger. Yeah, see, like, I was 5. So, I mean, for you, Gio, because, like... yeah, I know, dude. 5! Daniel Duck! But, like, for you, Gio, because, like, obviously nostalgia is quite... I feel stronger the younger you are type thing. What's your kind of nostalgic connection to Kingdom Hearts?
I get it.
So, like,
I'm old. I'm a dinosaur. So you want the fossils... Like idea when it comes to that.
I was trying to like word it in the like most polite way.
No, I'm wiping the dust off my arms as I prepare my answer. I get it. But nah, like I
love you, homie.
Like I was still a kid. No, I'm not that. I was still a kid when I first.
He was basically a man when he first played Kingdom Hearts.
So when Kingdom Hearts 1 came out, I was still a very, very young and spry child. But either way, like, I still grew up with the series, and even if I didn't, I feel like you said, the nostalgia really, really drives home, like, a lot of the experience of that game, and many other games, like Zelda, Kingdom Hearts, Smash Bros. That was my bread and butter. Like, I grew up with all those games. You know, I grew up with a lot of other games, you know, Mario, Pokemon, all that good jazz. But the thing is, one of the main differences that Kingdom Hearts has against certain other games that I grew up with is that even if you look at certain aspects a certain aspect specifically with Kingdom Hearts 1, because Kingdom Hearts 1, you know, that was the first game. It definitely had some clunky issues to it. The games hold up surprisingly well, like stupidly well.
Yeah.
Like they're they're almost timeless. It's crazy how well they hold up. Like if I were to go back and play Kingdom Hearts 1, and this is not just nostalgia, trust me, because like I'm very much aware of like games that and I you know what it called. I criticize games I love all the time. Like, you know, Kingdom Hearts 1 had Deep Jungle and Nolantica, all right, and it was kind of clunky.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2 Vanilla, if you guys have never played Vanilla, Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't have dodge roll, all right. So like, trust me, I understand.
Hard to believe, right?
Yeah,
that's so hard to believe.
But if I were to go back and play those games like now, some of these games are like from back then still tango with AAA titles that get released today in terms of like quality gameplay ideas and functions. I'm like, so like even despite if I didn't grow up with the series, I felt like if I were to be introduced to the series like at this point in time, 2 years ago, next year or anything like that, with how surprisingly well the games hold up in terms of like its polish and the ideas it brings to the table when it comes to action RPGs, I feel like I will be sucked right in. And then, you know,
be mad impressed. Like,
I feel Kingdom Hearts is a very big reason why I love, like, lack of a better word, convoluted storytelling. Kingdom Hearts is definitely something that feeds into that, but I don't want to say it's the thing that started that, because I was, like, even before Kingdom Hearts, I used to love studying all aspects of, like, mythology and lore when it comes to, like, either, like I said before, mythology or religion, and I used to read up all that kind of stuff. So then when Kingdom Hearts came around that time, I was really, like, into Egyptian, Greek, and Roman mythology. And I'm playing this game like, damn, this is crazy. So, you know, I feel like, you know, for me as a person, despite what Kingdom Hearts offered my life, if I were to try and take everything that Kingdom Hearts like added to my life away, and then try to view this game objectively from the outside looking in and trying it without all that, I think I still will get sucked in like frame one. So that's me. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're dead on. These games are so timeless. The art style of those older games holds up so well in a higher resolution, to a point where I don't think the games will like really ever age. I mean, aside, okay, let's be real. Aside from the low poly faces.
Oh yeah, I mean that was understandable.
Fantastic. Those are fantastic. Like for meme content, man, those low poly faces are great. Absolutely great. But yeah, they are such well-crafted games. I mean, KH1, pretty good. But KH2, what they did with the gameplay department of Kingdom Hearts 2, they peaked. They absolutely peaked. Like, the reaction commands, the fluidity when it came to, you know, controlling Sora, the drive forms, the tech towards combat and stuff just increased tenfold. I mean, so yeah, I think you're dead on, dude. Like, in the sense of that. Like, what would be your take on that, Sarah?
I think I would still like Kingdom Hearts, like if I were to get into it now, but I definitely think that, you know, when you grow up with something, your connection to things is definitely stronger because it's almost like it becomes part of you, I feel like.
Yeah,
so like
absolutely.
for me personally, like Kingdom Hearts feels like it's a part of me because I grew up with it and it was there for me throughout like the majority of my life. And like, I was very much into it for all of those formative years, and it really shaped me like into the person I am almost, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I kind of like what HMK said about like the whole like it got you into convoluted stories, because I feel the same way. Like I will play a game that people say is not that great story wise, and I'll be like, no, this is amazing. What do you mean?
Yeah. You know how to like dissect certain things now? Yeah. It teaches you.
Oh, Sarah, I want to put you on blast. Oh, like I know the avenue we're going down with saying that tweet you made about the like people was like, I don't like my Mick JRPG sword guy story, and then they go off and watch Adventures with the
Thanos. The Thanos.
Yeah. No, that was a very lighthearted tweet. Okay,
I know.
That was
It was lighthearted, but it went hard. I'm like, oh, Sarah's looking for blood today. Let's go.
That was some struth.
I did not expect, like, I didn't expect it to blow up like that. And, like, the wording of it, I could see how it, like, comes off as, like, me maybe like criticizing Marvel, which was not my intention at all.
No. I didn't get that. Like, I definitely got the idea. Is like, hey, listen,
they're similar stories. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that tweet. That's like one of my favorite tweets.
That's great.
Like,
I rolled when I saw it.
Thanks.
Like, it's a good way of putting it.
But yeah, going off your point once again when it comes to like convoluted story, I didn't mean to like interject. I just like that was a
no,
good
it's
tweet.
fine. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Oh, and I don't know. I do feel like I would like Kingdom Hearts as an adult. Like, I definitely think I would fall in love with it, and if I were introduced to it, because I love Disney, but like I don't know, would I have liked Square Enix if I didn't play Kingdom Hearts? It's hard because I got into Final Fantasy because of Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's like,
same here.
Kingdom Hearts is what got me into gaming. So it's like, it's kind of hard to say.
So,
but if I were in that situation where I was like, I was going to play Kingdom Hearts for the first time, I would definitely love it and appreciate it. And I think anyone could really find the charm and magic in it. I think anyone could really feel like I don't know. It's really good at evoking emotion in like, I think any age of person. But I definitely don't think I would feel as connected to it, like, just because I didn't grow up with it. You know what I mean?
It's the nostalgic
It'd be a little bit. There is still some nostalgia there, regardless of how amazing the games are.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's the sort of thing where there's a little something in that game, I think, no matter who you are. And I think Disney plays a big part of that because of the fact that, like, Disney's household, like, everyone knows Disney. So, like, from the get-go, Kingdom Hearts is automatically familiar. That is a great entry point or aspect of this franchise where anyone can jump in and automatically be familiar with, the characters and everything that's, like, kind of going on from the beginning type thing.
Yeah.
But the story that they're getting themselves involved in is not what they kind of expect. But yeah, no, definitely, I feel the same. I feel like I probably would be into it, but it's very hard to, I don't know, I guess imagine it from that perspective of never growing up with it, because it defined my gaming taste going forward for like literally everything, so.
Same.
But I'm damn happy it was like personally my first, because like you're right, there's so much or so many like lessons and virtues that you learn throughout that game, and especially like how important friends are and spending time with people and all of that kind of, I know, cheesy nonsense. But it's wholesome nonsense. It's beautiful.
And like people, like, I understand that Kingdom Hearts is like super cheesy. It's mad cheesy. It's maximum cheddar, right? But like, it knows what it's about. It's that's why I respect it so much. And like, it's because it's unapologetically cheesy, and it does like, it drops a lot of like truths and a lot of like good, like, I would say, concepts in terms like morals and what's like the most important thing in life. Like, it has a lot of good lessons and stuff, and then people are like, oh man, Kingdom Hearts, and I'm like,
well, I was talking about this on my stream.
You're an unhappy person.
I feel like I would rather play a game that has a lot of heart and like something that's like emotion provoking and thought provoking, then play something that's like this like stereotypically like good game, because like what even makes a good game, right? I like Kingdom Hearts because it's not afraid to like think outside of the box, to do things differently than other games do. And if people criticize it for that, that's fine, but that's what I love about Kingdom Hearts. I love how different it is. I love that it does things in a way that is so unique and special. And I don't think it would be what it is if it weren't for the convoluted story or just like the cheesiness. I think that's what makes it special to me.
It's DNA, man.
It's crazy because like Kingdom Hearts is something that a lot of video game developers aren't able to do, but a lot of what mangakas are able to do. And like literally Kingdom Hearts is Nomura Unleashed. Like that's just him, is like, listen, this is my story. And I'm gonna like, and he just goes off the rails with it. Of course, like there are like certain, like, I wouldn't say restrictions or blockades, but he understands and respects enough of the original like film plots of the films that he uses for worlds and stuff. But when it comes to like, the overarching lore, characters and stories, stuff like nah, we're doing this my way, and like the game is unapologetically that, and that's one big like thing I love about Kingdom Hearts is that you can tell like Nomura has fun making these games. You can tell like he really puts his all into like, you know, putting these games. People say sloppy, people say convoluted. I'm like, yo, this is him making his story, and a story that I love, and not many other people can say that about their favorite game, or, you know, their favorite manga or their favorite anime. I'm like, this is it, right? And that's what I love about Kingdom Hearts so much. So I'm like, yo, this Nomura Unleashed, let's go. Now, here's a specific question I want to throw over to Jared, because he wasn't here last week. Not last week, but last time. We got everyone's answer. We got Dean, Sky, Sarah's, myself. Jared, tell us your story, specifically how you got into Kingdom Hearts. Take us down memory lane.
Oh, pretty straightforward. Like I said, I got into it when I was 5, so basically to like shut my ass up, my mum used to put on like VHSs. Wow, it feels crusty saying VHS, but yeah, no, chuck on the VHS and that would shut my ass up. So like mum needed to shut my ass up for a longer amount of time, a prolonged amount of time. Best way to do that, video game system, right? Video game system. So she got me a PlayStation 2. With it came an individual copy of Kingdom Hearts, and then I got like Tekken Tag Tournament 2. Ooh. Rest is history. That's it. Mum needed to shut my ass up. I was one of those kids that used to like draw on the wall and stuff. I was running up the wall, flipping over the wall and stuff. It was terrible, dude. Like literally drawing on the wall. So like she needed some kind of distraction for me to be like, okay, he's investing his time elsewhere,
not on the wall. This man was like Sora inside the cave at Destiny Islands, bro.
Absolutely, absolutely. It came full circle, right? I'm not the only one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never drew on the walls. Like,
yeah, I was one of those
kids. I don't think I
kids.
did either.
I was one of those kids. Yeah, dang it. And I'm not an artist either. I didn't grow up to be like crazy at drawing or anything. I'm terrible. Shocking. So it didn't amount to nothing. Sucks.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
No, no, you don't want to see my drawings, dude. I can't even draw like a dog. It's terrible.
Let me see your drawings. Let me see your drawing right now, Jared. Right now.
All right, let me get a pen.
No, let's get it. Wait, Sarah, do you have a pen or pencil around you?
I might. I'm horrible.
All right, everyone's gonna get the writing material. We're all gonna draw a kingdom key really quick. All right, give me a second. I'm gonna open mine right now.
Hey guys. I don't know if Okay.
All right, we're doing this. We're doing this. Oh, this is like the perfect music for this too. What? Ah, right here.
Just gonna get some paper.
Damn, I really just made him get up and go like get paper. That's crazy, you guys. What the fuck? Like, so how y'all doing? I'm surprised I was able to get this like really quickly. That's crazy. Kingdom Carts, it's not gonna happen. Why does everyone want Kingdom Carts? I don't understand. Who wants Kingdom Carts? Like, I don't want Kingdom Carts. Please. Like, I don't understand. What's everyone's infatuation with Kingdom Carts? Like,
because it needs to happen. What's everyone's infatuation with Bloodborne Kart? Because it needs to happen. What are you talking about?
No, but why are you saying
Bloodborne?
God, Bloodborne Kart.
Oh, okay. I found stuff.
It's actually happening too. Well, not officially, but the person that made Bloodborne PSX is making Bloodborne Kart. It's actually kind of amazing.
Oh, sir, I see where you're busting out. Damn, I should have got that too. That's
nice.
I am prepared. Well, I wasn't prepared, but now I am.
Okay.
So this is my only pen. I shit you not, right? Because everything's digital nowadays.
Bro, what is that?
I have no idea. I don't. It's Santa naked, apparently. Beautiful.
I don't remember the Nightmare Before Christmas looking like that. Man.
Are we allowed to like look at the kingdom key, or do we have to do it just from our head?
From
I'm
memory.
so
Wait,
bad
are we
at that.
doing Kingdom key.
We're drawing a kingdom key, right?
Okay.
Alright.
I'll just try to do it from my head.
I got it like right in front of me on my phone.
Here.
Okay, no, I'll do it.
Welcome to the 5th dimensional draw stream. Remember, Jared is the one who
Brought this on.
brought this on to us.
You can blame me.
I'll do more than just blame you.
I bet you guys are like Picassos too.
I kind of messed up because there's not enough space. It's gonna be bad, actually.
No, it's gonna be fine. Relax. Yo, I'm trying.
This was actually like one of the things I used to draw a lot too. I'm not saying it's gonna be good, but like I used to draw Keyblades.
Yo, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna fuck up the teeth on the Keyblade so badly.
Yeah,
that's
I'm on
it.
that. I'm on that right now.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's bad.
Actually.
Oh.
Actually.
The Mickey Mouse symbol is hard as well. I don't know why. It's just hard. It shouldn't be.
Yeah. Okay, Jared. Wait,
Is it just me?
Are you being serious though?
Yeah, like it always looks like, I don't know, a teddy bear's head,
Bro,
and not
three
like
circles!
the ears. That's hot. This is what I am saying.
My kid looks like dog shit already.
Mine's bad.
Nah, it'll be fine. Alright, let's see.
I can't do the teeth.
I can't do it, man. I can't do it.
I can't do the teeth.
Where's it? Okay.
Oh my god.
It's fine, dude. Just keep going.
I'm going to implode. You're lying if you think this is fine.
I bet it's gonna be the nicest Kingdom Key between the three of us.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Better than the
I'm
Lego
terrible
blade.
at art, so. Okay.
You haven't seen nothing yet. Alright.
Alright, hold on to it until the rest of us are ready. Fuck! I made one side too thick! Oh, it's over, guys. I lost. This wasn't a competition, but I lost.
Doubt. Doubt.
No, I don't. I'm telling you, I messed this one up royally. It sucks that I did the teeth so well.
That honestly is the hardest part, though. Getting that crown in there it's hard.
And then I keep forgetting that it actually has a pommel.
It does. Very good.
Wow.
You keep it on stream.
Hell yeah.
You're not.
Let's see.
I'm trying to assume who I think would be the best drawer out of the Kiki.
Bro, out of all of us?
Yeah, out of all of
Sky,
us.
probably Sky.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
seems about right. That seems about right. Yeah.
Alright, so who's finished and who's not
I'm
finished?
finished.
I'm good.
Oh, I'm not finished. Hold up. Alright, time limit 3, 2. Don't please. Bro, I'm just gonna fuck up this chain. Oh my lord. Yo, I was super
How can you
excited.
fuck up a chain, bro? It's a bunch of circles.
I like my art detailed, so it's not gonna be like line.
Oh, okay, right. HD texture pack.
And
over here.
they're getting bigger. That's what happens when you panic. I've been playing way too much Elden Ring.
Oh yeah, that'll get the blood pressure high.
Jared, I messed up the Mickey ears and I blame you. I thought this is so easy.
I implanted
Why have
that.
I ever...
I implanted that.
Bro. The dimensions of all this is so off. It kind of looks like your Lego. Okay.
R.I.P. the Lego.
There.
R.I.P. the Lego.
Alright. We're done. Alright, so... on a count of 3, we're all gonna just show our art. So, 1, 2, 3.
It's
Oh, okay. Alright.
Alright.
Wait. I gotta look at the stream to look at yours, Gia. Okay, alright.
Mine looks like a cartoon version.
You know, Sarah, you know what yours looks like? It looks like one of those bath bomb keyblades that comes out of the bath bomb when like you're having a shower or whatever.
Like chibi.
Yeah, wait, Jared, see, yeah, Jared, yours is the best one.
good.
Yeah,
No,
like,
I
see, you're
agree.
capping.
Look at the teeth! Look at those teeth!
Better than mine.
Yeah, like I fucked up the teeth. I thought it was smooth with the teeth. What is that, bro?
No, but I'm gonna
Like-
I'm gonna have to say, like, I don't feel as bad.
Yeah, no, that was.
No, I
that
love
was
you guys. I
good.
love you guys.
No, I am not an artist at all.
No,
Me neither.
neither am I. Like, I cannot do it. And I'm jealous of people that can draw too. Like, being able to have these wild ideas and then to be able to put it on paper, you have a superpower. So for those of you that can do that, I am jealous. I am envious.
That's insane,
Envious.
man. Ours is so good, and then that's how Papa Nomura started out. I mean, like he was always an artist, but he started out in Square Enix as a debugger. But then people saw his art, and then they're like, "Yo, you drew this?" And it's like, "Yeah."
I know, crazy man.
I'm pretty sure he became an enemy designer in Final Fantasy VI, and then he became lead character designer in Final Fantasy VII, or was he the enemy designer in 5? Because I know he was a debugger in 4, and then he became an enemy designer for 5 or 6, and became lead designer in 7. But look at him now. Like,
I know, the ladder he's climbed, bro. It's nuts.
man,
Nuts.
I can't believe this. Time for Dallin to mod Sarah's version of the Kingdom Key into Kingdom Hearts 3 PC. Oh my god.
Oh my god, please don't.
I mean, it's gonna be immortalized. It's some one way or another. But what I was gonna say, like, dialing back to the 20th anniversary event, because I mean, like, it's so funny because like this was like we got a bunch of predictions out, but of course we started talking about all things that we love about Kingdom Hearts, you know. But the 20th anniversary event, I find it is so crazy in like the concept of itself, of being like celebrating a series that I don't know. Okay, so here's a question I want to pose to both of you and then everyone in the chat here. Like, did you like? I like, my heart says yes, but then my mind is all like, damn, really 20 years? Like, did y'all expect Kingdom Hearts to get this far? And like it did. It went above and beyond, and it was like, a Kingdom Hearts 1 along with Final Fantasy X are the reasons why Square Enix, like Square, is still here. Because if it wasn't for those two games, then we probably wouldn't have Square anymore. All those assets, all those IPs would be liquidated.
The movie?
And like, yeah, the movie really did a number on Square. The Spirits Within, yeah.
It happened at the same time, I believe.
It happened a little bit before. Like they put a lot of money into that, and they didn't see a return. And then it put their deal with Enix in jeopardy. And then if they didn't give Enix, like, I would say, confidence in doing the purchase, then they were like, nah. And then no one would probably buy them. They would have to file bankruptcy, assets liquidated, all that good jazz. But then Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts came out around the same time. And Enix like, all right, let's do it. And then Square became Square Enix. So, like, did you guys expect Kingdom Hearts? Like, of course, this may sound like a dumb question. I don't know, coming from like huge Kingdom Hearts fans, but did you guys expect it to get this far? Like, this far. Like I want to go out on a limb. Like there are some people that think that Kingdom Hearts is niche, and I want to say it's definitely not. It's definitely not niche. Like I feel like it's one of the big dogs now, right? Especially within Square Enix, it's the top 3. It's Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts, right? So do you guys believe that? Did you guys believe at any point that Kingdom Hearts was gonna get to this point where we're celebrating 20 years and we're gonna have this big event in Shibuya dedicated to this magical franchise? I'm gonna throw it over to Sarah first for that.
Honestly, not really, just because I feel like most series don't really last this long. Like some do, but I feel like most of them don't. I feel very grateful though. Like I think it's the coolest thing ever that my favorite series gets to like grow up with me and continue into my adulthood. Like that is seriously the coolest thing ever. I definitely think it's like I don't know. If I could have told myself when I was younger that it would be like this, I'd probably been like, wait, really? Like I probably wouldn't have expected it to last this long. I'm not really sure though. But all I can say is I'm just really grateful that it's still going because, yeah, moments like this.
I mean,
yeah.
Like you're so right. There are like so many franchises, which unfortunately some like honestly do deserve to continue, but just you know they don't. And so the
Skies
fact that
of
like
Arcadia!
Kingdom Hearts. What was that?
Skies of Arcadia.
I've what?
I've never played.
Oh wait, Sarah, have you played that game?
No.
All right, Jared. I don't think you'll like it, Jared, because it's kind of turn-based.
Right.
But that game is amazing.
Right, and it just hasn't seen the light of day for like a long time.
Please play this game, guys.
You know what?
Please
The cool
play
thing
this
is
game.
though, like in our day and age, like remakes and like bringing things back is such a big thing. So like I feel like there's so much hope for old games like that to come back in some form. But no, like I didn't really expect Kingdom Hearts to continue for as long as it has. But you're so right, Sarah. Like it's amazing to be able to grow up with a game series like this and to see it continue. Because like, yeah, I wouldn't overall, like as it's standing, I wouldn't consider Kingdom Hearts to be like niche. It is definitely one of Square Enix's like flagship IPs at this point. But what it like is, I feel, is very niche. Like it's a Disney. It's like Disney meets
nature.
Anime.
Yeah.
Its nature is very niche. Like yeah, for sure. And I think like that is one of the things that's kind of make or break, and somehow it definitely make on the make side of things and decided to continue. But what I do find is I only know like one other person that has like played Kingdom Hearts and is into it, which yeah, you've met him, James.
Yeah.
He's super into it. But otherwise, like none of my friends or anything are into Kingdom Hearts. However, one like consistent thing that I come across, and even when I'm meeting new people, when I'm out and about or whatever, is like pretty much everyone I've come across has been like, I know Kingdom Hearts for sure. Back when I was a kid, yeah, like that Disney game with the dude with the spiky hair and like the big shoes and like the key weapon, and you run around with like Donald and stuff. Like everyone knows Kingdom Hearts. Like I find that a lot of people in my age group, or our age group, I suppose you could say, sorry, I either did grow up with Kingdom Hearts or at some point have played Kingdom Hearts, know what Kingdom Hearts is. It is kind of, it's more so now like household, I do feel. But for a time there, like as a kid, no, I didn't really expect it to continue. I didn't really expect it to continue past 2, honestly. And I know like a lot of people actually say that the game should have ended at 2, which is like a really interesting take. It's a really interesting take. But yeah, I'm just grateful, like you said, Sarah, that like it's still going to this day. It's nice to know that Square have these like kind of big IPs now, like Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts. I suppose you could say that's their big 3 at this point. If you, know, Dragon Quest is pretty big. Yeah. Yeah, so it's nice. Surprising, but nice.
Oh man, just thinking about the memories that we all gone through. 20 years in the making. Kingdom Hearts, just and I honestly, the whole concept of like Disney meeting Final Fantasy, but I mean like Disney more meeting, you know, Square Enix properties, because now we have more than just Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts. We have Final Fantasy, we have The World Ends With You, and we have like some other games that like find their way into Kingdom Hearts. Like recently with Kingdom Hearts 3, we have Einhander, which is you know, the part of the team
PS1
with the gummy missions, right? And you know, it's just really cool seeing, you know, how this gigantic, weird but working crossover just survived, you know, the challenges of time and whatnot, and has, you know, cultivated such a ravenous yet dedicated and amazing fan base. It's just like, you know, I wouldn't have it any other way. And with each game, my excitement just keeps compounding more and more. But man, after Kingdom Hearts 3, reminded with Yozora, just like, I just need Quadratum right now. I need that Verum game right now.
We're not too far off. Hang in there, buddy.
It's gonna happen. Like, if this stream did not convince y'all that it's gonna happen, that, well, I don't want to get ahead of myself and saying a Verum game can happen. I'm just saying an announcement, a reveal, a confirmation. That's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna be something.
You guys have to believe. Like, what? Just like, let me lay it down to you guys. Why would they have an event 13 days after the 20th anniversary to celebrate the 20th anniversary in Shibuya on 4/10/10/4, where the 104 building, the actual 109 building in Japan, literally steps away from that building in the Shibuya building, to celebrate the 20th anniversary with a 6-hour-long event? And you're telling me, with no other game right now on the table to be set up to be revealed and released at this point, you think they're not gonna do that at the 20th anniversary? Come on! Come on!
Love it.
What if they don't, though?
Don't!
Hey, there's like, okay, I don't want to be that guy, but there's, you know, because like I'm hoping on this too.
Yeah, me too.
Like I kind of want to like almost see it not happen and just see like Twitter like absolutely.
Oh my god, that'd be horrible.
Yo,
no, I think
Twitter is gonna be ravenous, man.
Yo, people are gonna get crucified.
Absolutely.
You know, like, it's fine because, you know, like, I say Sarah, stop Sarah, no, but I mean, like, it's definitely something that could happen. But I don't believe it's gonna happen.
In the realm
I don't
of
think it will.
possibility.
No, I'm just saying that, like, a very slight chance.
I know, yeah, there's this, like, inkling there where it's like, but
Yeah.
hold on, should we just take a step back for a minute? But, like, at the same time, again, yeah, Gio, you're right. There's too many strings, too many points of evidence. But,
Yep.
like, yeah, you can't help but be, like, slightly cynical about the thing. Just because of the fact
I get it.
It's good. But yeah, like, you just can't help, because, like, there's so many times where we go into these, like, certain different events and stuff. I'm not specifically just saying Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
Like, these days, like, with game, you know, news streams and stuff, or PlayStation State of Plays, like Nintendo Directs, no one is ever satisfied. No one is ever 100% satisfied. It's
Yep.
impossible. Impossible. So you have to brace yourself sometimes.
Man, like,
And
it's
I don't know.
crazy.
I am scared. I'm a little bit scared.
When you say that, I was just thinking about that one time, because I knew with Sora's National Smash, I knew there was gonna be a lot of salty people, so I definitely wasn't gonna be like, yeah, Sora's the one that's gonna bring us all together, right? I am telling you, when they announced Sephiroth, I thought this was gonna be the one character they announced in Smash that everyone's gonna be like, yo, Sephiroth! Yeah, and it was close. It was so close.
Yeah,
And
but
then
there were
there were people saying, who the fuck is this character? Who asked for this character? I'm like, who the fuck are you to not put respect on one of the most iconic, like Sakurai said himself, Sephiroth has to be the most iconic video game villain besides Bowser in all of video games.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be like, and then people are
It's
like,
well deserved.
who? People are gonna be like, who? And I'm like, who are you? Who is you? And they're just mad they didn't get Jonesy, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I was
so
just
good.
gonna say that. The Fortnite guy.
Yeah. We should also probably mention Dark Road. That got pushed back. Surprise. I do feel as if they'll probably give us like a status update on that, right? At
Yeah.
the event. surely we should get hopefully like maybe a little 30-second thing, something, or just like the release date.
Right.
And then they'll tweet it out or something like that, which will be kind of nice. I'm kind of high-key hyped for that, to see how that kind of all wraps up. Who ends up sort of dying.
Oh, for Dark Road in general, I'm super hyped for that. But like,
absolutely, yeah.
I was really hoping that they were gonna release the finale before the
anniversary
event, but it's looking like they're probably gonna, because for me, I don't want them to take any amount of time away from the new at the anniversary event with something that we know about. That's why I'm like, man, I really like any way you break it when it comes to cloud gaming ain't ready. Cloud gaming isn't it. And I was just really hoping that they weren't gonna take up time at this event for the Nintendo Switch versions of Kingdom Hearts, the cloud versions, right? And the games came out long before the event happened, so I'm like, okay, cool, that's one less thing to talk about, that's one less thing to take up time. But now, Dark Road is probably gonna take up, like, I hope not long, maybe just like 10 minutes.
I mean, that being said, though, it's long. Like, I think the stage event itself, I don't think it'll be 3 hours. I think there'll be like an hour wrap up or like 40-minute wrap up. So I'm looking at like maybe like 2 hours. Yeah. In that time, they'll do the Q&A session, which will likely be like 30-40 minutes, and then a stage performance thing like 20-30. I think it leaves them about like a good solid 50-40 minutes to talk about like news or new things, updates. And I don't know if it'll be some kind of, like, if they are going to reveal something new here, I don't know if it'll be, like, a deep dive. I love the idea that you were saying where, like, Nomura gives us demonstrations and stuff. I would love to see Nomura. I would love to see him actually play a Kingdom Hearts game. That, like, there's no footage out there of him playing a Kingdom, like, can we see that, please?
Yeah.
But, like, I don't think they'll spend too much time going over whatever is new. But you're right. I mean, exhibition for sure. But I think do you think that is more so in the sense of like there's art and they go through and have a look at the exhibition? You know what I mean?
That's,
like,
okay, so yeah, an exhibit. Yeah.
That's what I feel when it comes to Kingdom Hearts and that type of thing. I would love the deep dive, like, with kind of what they did with Final Fantasy VII Remake at E3. They gave the whole breakdown thing.
They've
never done that for Kingdom Hearts.
That was so good.
So good.
And then, like, it'll be a perfect opportunity to show off what Yozora is about. Just, like, do, like, the whole slow-mo thing, Yozora with the crossbow beam, and then...
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, and also the art.
Oh, yeah, the art.
Exciting. Right, it's exciting.
Yep,
it's
the
exciting.
art.
Imagine if he's like holding out 4, like right up the top. Oh
my
god. Oh my god.
No. Just imagine cause you see Sora 1, 2, 3, and he's facing you, but off in the distance you see Sora, but from the back, as he's walking towards the 104, and he's 4 like this.
Yeah. Peace.
Yeah.
I'm dead. Peace.
Yep, he's gone.
Dude.
1-0. You know what? Am I crazy to think that the 104, of course, 104 was a thing in The World Ends With You, right? The 104 building, but I'm like, the 104 building is just, it's speaking to me. 104, the 104 is the first game within Phase 2 of Kingdom Hearts 104, the first game being Kingdom Hearts 4, but then, I don't know, technically the first title within Phase 2 was already,
I don't think you're crazy at all. It's Tetsuya Nomura you're dealing with. This man literally started to get into decimal points for the titling of his Kingdom Hearts games. You're fine, my guy. You're fine.
Oh my goodness. So we have about 10 minutes left of the show. In order to wrap it up, I'm gonna throw the ball over to Sarah and then Jared. Final thoughts and predictions, or just it doesn't even have to be predictions. Just get your feelings out, your final feelings out on the 20th anniversary event. Just go. All right, Sarah, just go. Gush. The 20th anniversary. Just anything.
I've been waiting for this moment.
Love that nervous laugh.
Whole life. questions that are not specific or so hard for me. Yeah. I'm really excited. I want to see the community come together again and get back into the trailer hype. Because that was some of the best couple of years of my life. Just everyone getting so excited. Sometimes the trailers would drop at 4 a.m. and it was just crazy. So I'm so excited to get back to that just hype of waiting for the next Kingdom Hearts game. And Hopefully everyone gets along. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just really excited. I really hope that we get a game announcement personally, because I just feel like at this point they kind of have sort of teased us to that point, and I feel like if they didn't, that'd be a little like
right? Like, you cannot blame us for Nomura like hyping
exactly.
me up. Like,
no, the hype is completely valid. That's the thing. It's like people are like, "Oh, temper your expectations," but like, okay, I mean, that you could temper your expectations, but personally,
yeah, hi, tell him, Sarah. Tell him, Sarah.
Personally, I'm gonna get excited because it's what gives me dopamine and serotonin. So
Yeah,
I'm just really excited, and I, you know, if nothing happens, then yeah, that's my fault for getting excited. But whatever,
like,
we'll deal with that. It's all right.
Yeah, I'll deal with that when it happens.
Here's an interesting perspective that I feel a lot of people aren't able to, like, you know, get from people like us. Is that it's just like people are like, oh, temper your expectations, or calm down. Like, why are you getting hyped up and stuff like? I'm like, hey, listen, I don't know about you, but I have the ability to be happy and to get hyped up and not hate myself if I don't get anything. Like, I can do that. So don't worry about me. Like worry about you, like
absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can get disappointed, but like it's not the end of the world for me. Like I'd rather, I'd rather like spend my time leading up to these things being excited and happy and hoping for the best than like feeling just really, for lack of a better word, cynical about it. Like I just want to. I don't know, I just want to have fun.
Yeah, I think it's those people that, like, take onto Twitter after, like, a direct or something that are like, fuck you, fuck this trash shit, where it's like, okay, you are the people that need to temper your expectations. If you set the bar so high and then you literally, like, lose your shit afterwards, having a full-blown tantrum online in front of hundreds of people, you are the people that need to temper your expectations. Yeah. You don't need to temper your expectations. If you can deal with it fine afterwards, all right, sweet, wipe it off my shoulder, walk away, it's another day. Like, it's fine. No harm done. I got excited, it kind of made it memorable. Sweet, I'm winning.
Exactly. If you can like understand that there's that slight chance that it might not happen, that's all that matters. Like, yeah.
Exactly.
But it's gonna happen. Exactly. But it's gonna happen.
I think so too. We'll see.
Right?
I think so too.
Right?
It's gonna happen. All right, what about you, Jared? Like, final thoughts. The 20th anniversary is upon us. You're not gonna lose your sleep, so I know you're happy about that.
No, I am. It's the American events that always fuck me over, so I'm happy that this is the Japanese one. But no, yeah, I'm just looking forward to, again, like, let's say, even if we don't get anything, it's just being in this atmosphere of everyone talking about it again, everyone excited again. It brings me back to those days of Kingdom Hearts 3, and it is simply beautiful. I love this energy. But in that sense, though, I am expecting, at least one thing. I do feel like there's probably going to be 2, if not multiple projects announced, whether that do be mobile game, 2 new actual console experiences, maybe a series. I mean, in that sense, could be setting the bar too high, but I feel like there will be multiple projects, if not, at the very minimum, one little tease thing. Also, too, I don't think we really talked about this, but just quickly, the Q&A session, I'm really looking forward to. And they also ask questions in both Japanese. They asked for questions in both Japanese and English, which is cool. Makes me think we're probably going to get either transcripts or that will be included, the actual session, in the video that gets released sometime afterwards. But I'm hoping that we get to kind of figure out some cool, I don't know, behind-the-scenes history of the development cycles of these games. I mean, there's countless amounts of questions from specifically Nomura in Ultimanias, but when looking towards, like, the actual team from, like, the, I don't know, the combat department or, like, the world design department or, you know, the other really specific team members, I'm excited to hear more from them. Don't get me wrong, love you, Papa Nomura, but it's going to be awesome to have maybe some of the other members speak about, like, their interests and likes towards the game and also some cool stuff. But yeah, just excited, all around, hyped. It's great. Like, we've been, I don't know, sort of a little bit stagnant in the Kingdom Hearts news space for a little while, regardless of the cool stuff that happened last year. So it's great to be back, man. We're at it again.
I'm excited because like y'all understand, like when not counting E3, because as if you guys didn't know, E3 this year was like fully canceled, digital and physical. I'm sure that either developers are planning to do anything at E3 is going to do something either at Summer's Game Fest or have their own shows. Square Enix has their own little live streams every now and again, kind of like Nintendo Directs, right? They have like the Square Enix presents or showcase, whatever, right? What I'm trying to say is that this point in time is the perfect time to reveal a game or 2 or 3, possibly even tease that of Kingdom Hearts 4 to start the roadmap once again for the rest of the year and stop here, like stop at where E3 was going to be, do their own showcase, have a little bit more information there. TGS is going to happen later this year. Jump Festa, let's go. It's that time again, right? It's the perfect time to start it now. As they've had like, the, what do you call it? I would say the tour. It's kind of like how, young Xeno was going on his little world tour. Like Kingdom Hearts 3 had its tour. Like 2.8 had its tour. Like 1.5, 2.5 had its tour at multiple events. This is the perfect time to start that. And I know that everyone in Square Enix, Disney, Tetsuya Nomura knows this. They know. And like the funniest thing, when like my final word on the whole idea of like not hyping yourself up on the possibility that something could not happen, Nomura knows that the world is the eyes of the world is on him, on this event, and that people had to win a lottery in order to attend this event, and that this is the 20th anniversary event. You have to think about all those variables, and you have to know that they equal something is gonna happen.
Also, I mean, the 10th anniversary, we got like, DDD, right? So, like, it's happened before. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's all gonna go down. So never fear, we're gonna get some. I believe it so much with all of our heart. But guys, thank y'all so much for coming on down to this final 5th dimension, not the last 5th dimension, the final 5th dimension before the the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event. Now, before I toss y'all to the wind, I want to make sure that I get the plans to y'all. Over 400 viewers in the chat right now. Sarah, what are your plans for the 20th anniversary event? What are you gonna do, and how can people find you?
Okay, I'm probably gonna stream it on my Twitch. Well, like not stream it, but like I'm gonna stream Kingdom Hearts and just kind of get hyped and like stream for like a really long time. And I mean, if it doesn't come out like right away, then that's fine. Next day, just kind of, I don't know. I've been kind of working on trying to platinum the other Kingdom Hearts games because I've done 1, 2, and 3. So I'm gonna try and do the others as well. So that's probably
have fun with Dream Job Distance.
Yeah, thanks.
Oh my god. My save, I accidentally deleted my save file where I was like almost there from doing the 100% completion towards the reports, and I'm not gonna do it again for like another decade. I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
That's rough.
Done. It really is. I cried myself to sleep often. Sucks.
So that's where you guys can find SarahKey with her plans for the 20th anniversary Kingdom Hearts anniversary stream hype party. And Jared, let's talk about your plans. Where can they find you?
Oh, I look, man, my net do be trash at the moment. I haven't been able to stream this whole year. I am fiending so bad. I'm currently trying to get it like fixed or whatever. So the only thing I can really do is stay. Hello, phone?
Stream off your phone.
You want me to use 4G to stream? You gotta be I live out in the sticks now, my guy. That will not work.
I'm trying to help.
I'm out here in the cow poo.
Jeez.
No, but like, yeah, unfortunately I can't stream at the moment, so I'm just pretty much going to be glued to Twitter. I'll be live tweeting things and I quote tweeting things if things come through. Like I have been mentioning recently in videos though, do be sure there is a list on, I kind of want to make this like public to everyone, so I will chuck this into the chat.
No, go for it.
But there is there's a list here, of about over 100 of the attendees that are going to this event. And they have mentioned that they will be live tweeting stuff that like does happen. So I'll just chuck it in the... now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There
be
you
sure
go.
to follow that list. Essentially, like it'll all be in Japanese, but like Google Translate should be able to give you like the basic understanding of what they're obviously trying to say.
I'm gonna drop it like 5 times. Yeah.
So like
No,
yeah, and
I didn't mean that.
I also need to reiterate to, I mean, most
There you
people
go.
in the stream will know, but even today, I'm still receiving like questions. Where's the live stream? What time? Okay, no live stream. There's no live stream. Okay, there's no
Yo,
live stream.
I got questions today about this. I'm like, yo. I
Yeah,
said this multiple times.
there's no
No
live
live
stream.
stream.
So just
We
follow
wish.
that list. That is your live stream. That list. From the time to the time, go onto that list. That is your live stream. Otherwise, follow Sarah. Make sure to also follow Geo here on Twitch. They'll be keeping you guys informed. I'll be doing my best on Twitter and on YouTube.
Alright. Awesome, man. Yo, hopefully we'll get that internet like fixed up soon because I mean that's
Absolutely.
bad. But
That's bad.
oh, super bad. As for me, you could definitely find me tomorrow. I'm gonna be going live at midnight into the next like midnight. Like if people say it's midnight the next day or whatever, I consider midnight the day before. Anyways, tomorrow midnight into 7 a.m. I'm gonna hate it. Like no, I'm gonna love streaming with y'all, but I'm gonna hate that my stupid schedule is gonna be bunked. And it takes me 2 weeks to fix that. But that's what I'm going to be doing, live streaming. And so I hope you guys will join us and other members of the Kingdom Hearts community for the big Kingdom Hearts Community Sleepover 2.0. It's going to be good. It's going to be grand. We're going to get some hype going. Now, before I toss y'all to the wind, we're going to go ahead and raid another member of the 5th Dimension. We're going to be raiding Momo Pokemon 95. She is currently playing Kingdom Hearts 1, currently in Deep Jungle. Man, I hate that world. So be sure to check out that channel. It's going to be good. It's going to be grand. And until the next stream, until tomorrow, until the 20th anniversary, until the next 5th Dimension, this has been HMK and SarahKey and Cynical from the Gamers Joint, and we will check you guys later.
Bye.